Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Saturday? Yeah, happy Saturday. It is Saturday. Whoops. You know, with
Amen.
been a while. There we go. So, happy Saturday. Hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. Hope you guys are wrapping up and finishing this year so you could start on a strong 2024 new year. For us, we have definitely been adapting and embracing certain unexpected things and endeavors. And we feel that the only way is forward. And, that's what we're going to do. I think if we keep along this route, we'll be okay. And hopefully within the next few months, we maybe have, a good surprise or announcement. We might, reveal certain things in the live, or we just might let things take time. I rather see things come to fruition before we just say like, hey. That's how it's going to be. But
we'll put it to you this way. I'm big on every year. I'm not so much big on, I know some people, and I'm all for it. Like when people say like, oh, new year, new goals. I love it. That's great if that's your thing. I try to stick to a word for the year. And last year was consistency. So the Mr. and I, whether it was personally, professionally, we were just extremely consistent. And let's be honest, consistency, that just means driving home that goal over and over and over again, relentlessly. And sometimes, even if you're consistent, it doesn't always mean the end goal turns out exactly how you hoped it would. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But ultimately, if you were consistent, to me, it's still a win. So this year, I was talking to the Mr. It's actually coming in the mail today. I have these little plaques made by a small business. I have to see where it's made from. I've been having her make them for years, but the word is intentional, because now we've taken these, in a sense, bigger goals that we've had, and now we're really zeroing in because we're getting there. Fruition's the word. We're getting down to the nitty gritty of really making a few. I would say, the last 4 or 5 year goals really come to be this year, and there's just like a few little fine tunings that we have to do personally and professionally to make some of these things happen in the next, I would say, fair enough, like we're giving ourselves 6 to 7 months, and we'll see. But we have to be really intentional about every single move we make personally and professionally with these few things, and we'll see what happens. I think if you go in with an open mind, we know that we might achieve or not achieve, and we might have to pick up the pieces and try again. But
correct.
Ultimately, we're in this to give it our all.
Yes. So like I said before on the channel numerous times, I'm sorry if I cut you off, but you don't know what you're capable of doing if you don't try. So we're trying something new, and what do you say, for what, the past 2-3 months, maybe, and it's going in the forward direction, and it's functioning, it's still moving forward, it's still progressing. We just need to figure out how to, embrace it and put it. Yeah, thank you for stealing my mug.
He just said it looks better on me anyway.
So let's go to the chat, and then we can answer certain things here. Good morning, Mr. Fred. How are you? Hope you and Mom are doing well. Yes. I feel the weather that we're experiencing feels very like UK-ish. And I don't know we didn't go through the entire chat yet, but see this here?
Can you just, we haven't gotten to the later chat, but could you just rub your beard a few more times? It was a request by someone special in the chat.
Okay.
Just
okay.
rub it and caress your face a few more times.
But yeah, we have like very like damp, cold weather with some like freezing spouts, and we've maybe had probably some of the biggest hail we have ever seen here on the island, or I have seen. Don't also forget that we are very close to the water, so what we experience may be different from others within the island. But we've gotten hail, which we've never had before, that'll like wake you up out of a dead sleep. And it's like, and I've never seen hail, bounce off the ground and all this stuff. And, I'm thinking, because you never had this before, I'm thinking of like some of other states and countries where hail, they put dents in your car. And I'm like, I hope we have insurance. That's not going to be.
We do, don't worry.
Like our.
I mean, the mister normally spoons me, but he's been spooning me like a newborn on a Christmas morning lately because of this weather. So don't worry.
But we maybe had some flurries. Nothing has stuck. Nothing has stuck.
No.
So at the bare minimum, when it comes to snow, yes, of course, we would love snow for a multitude of reasons. I feel like we're missing out of the snow. Like I like snow and it just like it's white and like everything is pretty, because there's certain avenues and routes I like to go through with work that I just feel like it's very, I know it sounds like
you like
weird.
The white snow, not the yellow?
Yeah. It feels like very like picturesque, and it's like very
you set yourself up for that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, to me, it's like, I can't explain it. Like, it's just a vibe. Like, I'm just driving, and I posted pictures on Instagram when I take my route, and I'm not sure if I've ever included to, but it's very, to me, it's like very soothing, very, relaxing. I could have like a hectic, crazy day in the middle of something crazy and hectic, and I will just take this road, and you're supposed to drive slow, and I will just, soak it all in for what it is. And I feel very cheated and out of place because I haven't had that yet. And there's a few other things, and we'll go through the chat.
I will find pictures of that road from years ago for you. The mister and I are a little divided on wanting to see the white stuff. I get that we do enjoy playing in it a little bit, but I'm not going to lie. You know that the missus is down to dollars and cents. And I don't know about some of y'all, but we are really enjoying these 50-degree temps over here. Or at least I should say I am, because clearly somebody's missing the white stuff. And we'll get to it in a few moments. I'm enjoying these higher temps for the simple fact that it's really prolonging our tractor season here on the Northeast. So with that being said, when the tractor season is being prolonged, that means this is still coming in. So I'm sorry to say, I know you'd like to see, a little bit more of the white powdery stuff, but I'm not exactly crying about the fact that it's 50 degrees still. So continuing on.
Hey, Rich, how are you? Happy New Year. Hope all is well. And
Good
the
to
auctions
see you.
are rolling in.
Hi, Rich.
Rusted 2 rolling. Absolutely love that.
That is a great
I'm
name.
a little thrown off on that. That's a Jeep, but I have a feeling I'm very wrong. It looks like a Jeep, but I could be wrong.
Very cool.
Hooked on Classics. Hope you are doing well, and all your furry-legged friends.
Absolutely.
Fun things to do. Hey, DJ
Hi,
Tech Sparky, how
Sparky.
are you? Hope you and the wife are doing well. Oh, look who it is.
Oh, hold on.
Look who it is.
Jamie, good morning. Happy almost New Year. Always a great time having you on here.
Kaja Dog, hope all is
Hi,
well.
Jack. Good morning.
I hope you and the family are doing well. Hope you guys have recovered. We really haven't spoken, but just know that we are always thinking about you guys. Mr. Fisher, hope all is well. Of course, Mick, I hope you guys are doing well. You guys had a great Christmas. It was absolutely fun watching you guys prank grandma or mom. Mr. KCB, hello, how are you? So speaking of KCB, and I want to give a special Shout out to KCB.
Can you just start off by going, Casey, just for another person?
Yes. So, okay, so here, so someone also made a comment about my hat, right? So we made a unintentional commitment this year that we were just really going to go all out on lawn tractors. Really put a
balls to the wall.
Let's go conservative effort to the best of that we can, because I'm still not 100% proficient and confident. And that Husqvarna with the cracked Kohler that I got really
I think you're still just getting your tractor legs.
Yes. Yeah.
That's all.
And we're progressing forward.
But those tractor legs are looking good, honey.
So yeah. So
look, he gets so gussy inside. So cute.
And I always tell from the beginning that we always knew that the bigger the machine, the bigger the prize. So the money you're going to make with a lawnmower is not going to be the same you're going to make with a snowblower, because a snowblower is a little bigger, so your margins are going to be higher. But then there's also a little bit of a higher risk if you choose to play your cards that way. And tractors are the same way. And as you guys seen multiple times through my tractor journey, right, I try very, very hard to avoid certain things because I know what's out there, and I can only do things one way. I cannot do it any other way, and that's at my or our expense, but for your entertainment. And I'll still say this over and over again, no matter what we sell, my biggest fear within retrospect is that I sell somebody something and it's been hodgepodge together and they have issues with it. And because it is a hodgepodge of machine, it really can't be repaired. Because I have been and spoken to repair shops, if they know a machine or they detect that a machine has been like hodgepodge together, they're just going to kick it right back to them. And I do not want any issues, especially with lawn tractors, because with lawn tractors, people come to the house. There is no buffer, and we've had no cold weather. And it's been like the mental Olympics. Like, I should be in snowblower mode, and we are in snowblower mode in the sense that, we're taking on repairs. I just dropped off my last repair yesterday. I maybe have another 2 to 3 repairs, but I have a feeling like them and everyone else, they're trying to keep in contact because they think like when snow comes, like, oh, I've been in contact, so he's gonna take care of it right away. And that is not the case. And here is not an example, but the snowblower that I just repaired yesterday, and it was just simple. It was a pull start rope. I had to pick it up. It was a Briggs & Stratton. The whole engine had to come apart. And usually, the machine runs. And the guy's like, listen, it ran last year. There's no gas in it. Do not put gas in it. Do not try and start it up. Just repair the recoil and drop it back off. Okay. So I've never had that before. There have been instances in the past where people get their machine repaired at the end of the season and, it'll be running. And I started, even though I said I wouldn't, I started winterizing the machine for them. So when it comes to next year, it'll start right up. And, for me, cutting season or lawnmower season for me stops when the grass grows. With tractors, it's all year round because of the leaves. I just sold somebody a tractor. They have a landscaper, but they don't want to pay his inflated fall cleanups or spring cleanups. He doesn't want to pay the cleanups. So he literally bought a lawn tractor just to clean leaves. And I was like shocked. And I know it sounds like weird because people buy snow blowers just for snow, but I need to, mentally get over some hurdles. Yeah, Tennessee. Uncle Ed, hope you're doing well.
Hi, Ed.
Hester, how are you?
Hi, Esther.
How are you guys doing with snow?
Oh, you're not going to get over this
in your
wet
area?
stuff.
No. So we have so people message us all the time, and they're like, "What do we do? We haven't had snow. Do we sell our machine? Do we
December, the winter just started, sweetheart.
do we keep gas in it and do we start it periodically? Do we what do we do?" And I've just been telling people that the snowblower is there. It's you've had it for X amount of years in X amount of space. In my opinion, it's just like a generator. It is the best insurance policy you could ever have because it's there when you need it. How many people have a generator and never lose power? But in case we do lose power,
It's there.
it's there. So I feel the same way it is with a snowblower. There has been, I feel like, a climate shift because there are people in areas that have never gotten snow that are getting snow, and there are areas that have gotten snow that are not getting any snow. It's just like vice versa. And also, we're heading into January. So like she said, it's very early on to give up the ghost.
And when I also, let's be realistic. I hate bringing it up, but 2 years ago when we had his health scare, that was in January, and that was we bought him home the third week of January, and that year, 2 years ago, was the first snowfall that we had.
Yep.
So let's be honest. Unfortunately, so we're only into the winter by a matter of days. Would I be just fine? I would be fine seeing these 50-degree temperatures and cruising through the winter with no snow. Let's be honest, we're probably going to get hit with one or two as the winter goes on. I like to bundle him up in his snowsuit and let him play in the snow once or twice during the season. I got him the cutest little Elsa and Anna frozen snowsuit to play in. I would hate to see it go to waste. And so, I don't know why it has a flap in the back. I mean, maybe Mick can explain to me. But anyway, with that being said, of course, it's probably going to snow here in the Northeast at least once or twice, but we just haven't seen anything yet. And I agree, Scott, there hasn't even been a sign of it. We just, went out on a walk the other day, and when I tell you the sun was shining, it had to be like 50 something degrees. It was
Yesterday was a beautiful day.
It was as beautiful as this.
I could have painted yesterday, but with work and other commitments, I couldn't do anything. But it's okay, and it gets dark by 5 o'clock.
That's a drag.
And for some reason, I don't remember it getting dark so early. So I get home, I maybe have an hour and a half to maybe try and get some footage or just go crazy. Good morning to you. Click Cowell, hope all is well. Happy New Year. Have you been well? All right, so here's okay.
He actually has, Mick. He has. And I'm thanking you for noticing.
So obviously she talked about the health scare and a few other things. So we had a doctor's appointment a couple weeks ago, and I had one, yesterday. And it was funny where the doctor, both the cardiologist and hematologist, threw out drinking red wine.
Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir. So we have been I don't like red wine, but I guess when you're at a certain age, you're not a child anymore, and you get to pick and choose what you eat within reason. So I feel like having a glass of red wine is like taking a shot, and she gets upset because she'll sip it, and I'm like, that's it, I'm done. because if I sip it, I make like these weird faces, and we're trying to eat dinner, and she's like, "You're ruining it."
Guys, you just might see him. There may still be a Pate's performance calendar in the works here now that he's started playing with the tractors more. But I'm almost envisioning, now that he's becoming a little bit of a wine connoisseur, I'm thinking like a vineyard scene, maybe a tractor, and maybe like a bottle of vino in one hand. I mean, a sponsorship.
I do not enjoy it.
We live in wine country. I mean, let's be honest. I mean,
yes,
if anybody can get the sponsorship, I'm thinking so. I see big things for 2024 with you.
No.
Mick, you've been wanting a shirt off.
So that's like...
What do you think, Nick? Farm scene, vineyard in the background, bottle of vino, the mister. If this tractor ain't moving, this vino ain't, I don't know. We got to think of something that goes with it.
You're dying on that hill alone. Sorry, I'm not a fan of this wine thing.
Wait, Mick doesn't care what the line said. Mick's just drinking it all in. Mick, I'm thinking shirt off.
So
I'm thinking shirt off.
So yeah, so obviously, right, what I do for my line of work obviously is not enough exercise for obvious reasons. So we have decided to take a different journey and just starting to eat a little bit better. Right. We're walking every
2 mile walks.
day, 2 mile walks every day. So it's a little fun together, and, we're having wine. And obviously, with the cooking and stuff, we had to change how we cook, but still the
more
same.
More like a Mediterranean style, which has been fun.
Yeah. So, just, simple with, chicken and rice, steak and rice, so we still do tacos, but no taco shell or whatever. So we're making better steps and progress, forward. Obviously.
And just because we're a family channel, let's just say,
hey,
his cardiovascular is incredible.
You're joking, right? Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
We're here to encourage.
Mr. Clem Hopewell as well. Channel. Yeah, baby X working. Yep. We see Jason dancing on a place for friends. Both you. We're just going.
I see you blazing past Mick. Mick is a viewer and a friend to the channel, and I see you blazing past his requests.
So hope you both are doing well. If you had a fabulous new year, both had a long life for two. So yeah, so obviously for us, our year and our lives have changed on a multitude of levels. So this year and this Christmas, this holiday season, and this new year is going to be, very different for us. And remember, some of the things that we're going through are bigger than us. And, our Christmas just ended up being, me and her. And I know it's very out of the norm for us and for her because she likes decorating the house and everything. But it just ended up being us. And I hope you had a good time because I really tried. The best way
I could describe it,
make it
to keep
enjoyable for you,
personal, and to also to just sum it up. 2000. Listen, I you know how I feel. I don't believe any year is not worth going through. I mean, even our toughest year 2 years ago, you live and learn from them, right? This year brought us some of our highest highs and some of our lowest lows. I'm not going to lie to you. And the Mr. shared more, I know, in a video that I was aware he shared. I had some of my own personal greatest highs this year, and boy, oh boy, when they tell you life can bring you some incredibly memorable moments that you'll never forget, and then the next day you can turn around and it could be all taken away from you. It's so true. But I think it's really important to always remember that there's tomorrow, and thank God there is. And the Mr. and I are taking this new year ahead as not as in like, this is going to happen and this is going to happen, but like, it's more like, this is what we have happening now. And we're going to keep plugging at what we have started, intentional. Remember that word we talked about. And we're going to keep grinding at what we invested our time and energy into. Because I think when you sit there and you're like, I'm going to make this happen and this happen, and I know this is going to, you set yourself up for a little disappointment. So I think when you dedicate yourself, you're consistent and you grind at it, I know you invest your heart, but you also protect it at the same time. So this next year, we really hope that, we hope great things for everyone, and whatever it is that you are putting your mind, your heart, your soul, your grind into, we hope it's great for you.
Yes.
But that's really where we're at. We have people we love that we're close to that are going through some really horrible times, and we're there to support them. We have things that are on our own hearts that we want badly, and what some of them are. And you know what? And we have not given up hope on them. But you can't predict the future, and you can't make things happen, and things are going to happen the way they're going to. You just have to keep trying. And that's the best advice that we can give. So that's what we're hoping for the next year moving forward. And that's kind of where we've been. We didn't stop any of the things that the Mr. shared over this past year, whether it was personal or things bigger than us. It didn't stop us this past year.
Yeah.
We've just been so dedicated
Altered
to
our schedule.
It altered our lives, our
Altered
schedules.
Yes.
And to be honest, like the Mr. just said now, like we've kind of looked at things in the last couple months and we were like, all right, well, our life did not turn out how we thought it was going to for 2024. Like, well, what can we do to like fix the health? What can we do to fix or what can we do to change the trajectory of the business?
Yes.
What
fill voids
Yeah.
and gaps that I'm missing, because I'll be honest with you, I
Yeah.
have snow blower blues. This channel was founded on snow blowers, and to transition into a tractor channel or something else would be, it's just, I feel like that's my roots. And I understand that, you grow, and I just can't let go of that. I
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoy. I am extremely passionate about, snow blowers, regardless of what the brand is. Like, I just can't explain it. It just grinds my gears and keeps me going. And this lull and this lack of snow blowers, it's really like putting me like in this weird, funk. Like, I'm working on a lawn tractor or a different piece of machine, and I'm not saying I'm not happy or miserable, but I'm just not getting that like, sometimes I talk to you guys about like butterflies or like this like oomph, like I'm just missing that right now. And I don't know if it's like just a combination of like the weather and then me just mentally grasping these changes. But it's weird.
I think change feels uneasy, and I think the human body doesn't necessarily know what to do with change initially. If I'm being, and I know we're talking apples and oranges to what he's talking about, but back in September when we had what happened to us, which about from the video he shared, I thought my September, and I thought this year was going to look very different for me. And the Mr. knows, if anything, I feel like we could learn from each other. The Mr. knows I turned around and I took what was honestly tragedy for us back over the summer. And I said to myself, that's it. I've got to do something with now this time I have back. And I said to the Mr., I said, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to help my career. I'm going to help better our situation, because anything either one of us does in our business, our career, it helps us as a couple. And I said, I'm going to turn our tragedy into like, I have this, I don't want to say extra time on my hands because there's never extra time, but I'm going to do something to take a really tragic situation and I'm going to put my time and energy into doing something to better something for us. And I started taking these classes to just help us. I believe that no matter what you're feeling, what you're going through in your business, personally, if you're stuck in something and you're like, oh God, I can't believe this just happened to me, or my business is not going the way it wants right now, take those feelings, take that like uneasiness and put it into something to better yourself. Put it into something like, take that energy and put it somewhere that maybe could help your business or help your you and your spouse, or you and your family. But don't just sit there in a rut. Don't just sit there and say like, this sucks for me right now, or sucks for us right now, or I can't see myself not doing snowblowers right now, so I'm just going to not do anything right now. Stopping is not the answer. And that's what we kind of did for the last couple months. We said, you know what, we can't just stop because, you know, our family situation didn't turn out how we wanted for this year, or the business didn't turn out how we wanted for this year, you know? And the Mister really did. Like, he shocked the hell out of me with the tractors this year. He really, you know, started something new that I didn't think, I believed he could, but he really put a lot of mojo into it. And I was really shocked that you did what you did with the tractors.
I think if you guys, I think Instagram, I posted a little bit more tractor content than what I did on YouTube, but we were getting messages like, what happened to all of a sudden you've got stuff coming out of, you know, your yin yang, and it was just, you know, opportunities. So with the Pat Case Performance live stream, so with her taking classes, you know, it's different, especially like, you know, when we were in school and all this other stuff. So her,
and Lord knows I don't need any, you know, I have Beyond Masters and all of that. This is something totally different. I wanted to do something to even further where my career could take me. And in the long run, I'm thinking past retirement now. And I wanted to do something for this next year. I knew from September into this next year was going to be a sensitive time for me. And I said to the Mister, I said, I have an opportunity that just came across my lap. And I said, I want to take it. And he said to me, let's do it. Yeah. And financially in the long run, it's going to be really great for us too. So I'm doing it. And I kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm psyching myself up here, but I also, you know, the John Lennon song, what is it? Life's busy when you're making other plans. So maybe while we're sitting here and I'm doing these classes and he's grinding the business and we're sitting here getting healthy, like, who knows what God's got planned for us? You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the rationale behind everything right now. So,
you know, with her being in school, and some of you guys have been messaging us for a very long time about live streams. I think once school,
and don't get it twisted.
Yes.
I'm working full time. Yes. I have my business still.
So
this is an addition.
So school for her is Friday, Saturday.
Friday night, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that doesn't leave our normal live time. And I feel the live streams and Pat Case Performance is something for me and her. You guys have seen us laugh, cry, yell on live streams, right? And I think live streams are great for us because sometimes we don't talk about things until this happens. and I like that feeling, and I like that rawness because nothing, you know, is ever planned. And sometimes this is like couples therapy for us, but we haven't needed couples therapy.
No, especially since he started walking and all that cardio.
Yes, absolutely zero snow. Too many blowers. So how about this? So, excuse me, I just did that.
He gets excited when we talk about the cardio.
So snow blowers, right? You guys seen that one video that we sold a snowblower early on in the summer season. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Out the door, gone. We were all surprised. All surprised. Since then, I was able to trickle in a single stage snowblower sale. And that was only because, one, I got it for free. And two, I'm not going to say the word I gave it away, but I sold this snowblower with electric start, a single stage snowblower, electric start for $100. And I could not get past that the paddles weren't. I had to put new paddles on it. Believe me, I had it at 150. I tried getting 125 to at least cover the paddles. So I got rid of it because I didn't feel like putting it in long-term storage with the 20 other snowblowers that we have. I just didn't want to do that with this single stage. Then fast forward, right? Because every snowblower we have for sale is finished, upgraded, and tuned up and serviced our way. And people have to pay for that. So what happened was I ended up coming across a really nice Toro, and I feel so bad. I didn't even change the oil. I bought it, and I literally put it right back up for sale, and it maybe took like a week or two, and we sold it right away for double our money. And even doing that, it was still, one, I didn't feel okay with it, but two, dealing with people, it didn't make like, oh wow, it sold really fast, it was a pleasurable experience, like let's do this again. After that, it didn't make me want to go run out and maybe try and find like another quick flip. And now that we're so late, according to people, but in theory not, it's tough out there. It really, really is. Yeah, so Keller's more upstate, so yeah, zero, no snow. Rick, how are you? Happy New Year. Jason builds fans after engines.
Hi, Henry.
Christina, just sit there and not snog his face off. We sold them.
Oh, it's hard, Mick. Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah. So how do I? So there was a lawn tractor that I felt like I got catfished on. And I'm like, you know what? While I'm here, I'm just going to freaking grab it. Because if I don't grab this tractor, somebody else will. So, and it was a guy who advertised that I didn't know. I pull up to his house and he does small engine repair on the side. And you know that I hate buying small engine repair stuff from other people who do what we do for the most part. A select few I will, complete strangers I just don't, especially with the tractor, because I don't know what I'm looking at. You could pull the wool over my eyes and I would never know the difference. So this one was a little tricky and I took the gamble and I got caught up in my feelings and my emotions. And I ended up, it was an older MTD where the hood flips, it splits in like half and flips forward. So it's an older MTD, but it had like those modern Intech engines and everything looked to be all right. So I ended up buying it. And then when I was loading it in, I noticed something that was wrong with it. And I said something to him like, oh. And I was just, oh. And I says, I thought you're very thorough and you go through this machine. How did you miss that? Because if you service this machine, you would have missed that. I mean, you wouldn't have missed that. Because, you know, to me, and this is another thing that we talk about, when I want in the comment section, whether you do tune-ups for people or you do a tune-up on your own or you service your own lawn tractor, what is a tune-up to you in a lawn tractor? I want that right in the comments. I will tell you what I believe, what I feel is a tune-up to a lawn tractor. Now remember, I have zero experience with lawn tractors in a sense. I am YouTube educated, but I'm pulling snippets from lawnmowers and snowblowers. But the way these tractors are set up in my mind, to me, it's a snowblower tune-up plus one extra. And I'll explain why. So in the comments down below, drop down your lawn tractor tune-up comments. We're going to go through the comments and then we'll come back to that. Yes, we did say, hey, we said still selling on leaf blowers. I can't remember last time we sold a rotting mower from New Year's. Yes. We're still selling lawn tractors. It's shocking. Leaf blowers, we are completely sold out. I scrounged out one, but we're still sitting and I'm okay. Oh, Mr. Mano Mowers, hello, how are you? Hope you're doing well. You're in a bigger shop. Congratulations. Shoot me a message, or if you feel comfortable, put where your shop is, because I sold a few things to a really nice guy in Florida, and I was trying to see if I could put you two together in case he has any issues. I have tons of 40 miles from winery. Does he go? I'm in my new TT. Congratulations on the new car. I did 20K in leaf blowers last week. Wow,
That's
congratulations.
amazing. Good
You
job.
got a huge echo order. So Brando, it's been a while. So are you working for somebody? I know you moved and you had this big barn, but so did you move into something bigger and now you became a dealer? That's awesome. That's crazy. Awesome, Brandon. Well, good morning, Hope all as well. It's been a while since I jumped on here. I see you. Yes, absolutely. Hope you guys are doing well. Every time I touch a
Happy
John
New
Deere,
Year.
I always think of you, no matter what. Even if, but in a positive note, because John Deere's really send me through the roof. Has the sales team had the last few weeks? No, wow, yes. Oops. Jason needs the burlap bags. Take 100 months. Take 100,000. Take storage is worth it more than profit sometimes. Me, I want them brand new. Yes. It's so if you love lawn tractors, I thoroughly enjoy something like a lot of follow you guys on Instagram like you do. I definitely enjoy the process that Rick Broman has because he posts on his products that he uses and he does some wild off the cuff paint schemes. Jason, I think if I tried it behind Walk Pond, he would choose this over his Toro Time Cutter, which that is something we could talk about. I do know. Yes. Tune up, bumper to bumper check over oil change that needs replacing. Spark plug amusement on carb oil change. That's it. The missus predicted a few years that there would not be any number of years. What a prediction is going forward. Okay, so answer that question from Jamie out, and then we'll talk about tractor tune-ups.
So, God, what was that? That was, I think, the year before you were sick. So we're talking 3 years back.
Yes.
So
you cited the Farmer's Almanac.
Yes. So that was Jamie for the year he was sick and last year. And so far, so good. And that was supposed to be in through this year too, that we were only supposed to see just, I think, 1 or 2 small storms for this year. If I'm being honest, Jamie, I did not look into anything past this year. But from what I remember seeing, this was supposed to be like scantily years, like between last year, the year before, and this year, that we were really only supposed to get like 1 or 2 even measurable storms here where we are in New York. Now we're on Long Island, whereas like Scott Keller is up more in like the upstate region where they always see more snow than we do. I literally am just following for like what we're receiving, and it didn't say anything measurable, which is unusual because Jamie, they've been seeing a lot of falling acorns around our area.
Yes.
And the wise tale is when you see a lot of fallen acorns, it's supposed to mean a surmountable amount of snow for the winter, which is really interesting because that's not adding up to what the Farmer's Almanac is calling for this winter. So it'll be interesting to see, does the wise tale of a lot of fallen acorns equaling a lot of snow equal what the Farmer's Almanac is calling for, which is really only 1 or 2 storms for this area. So it'll be interesting to see. The Farmer's Almanac was pretty accurate the last 2 years. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, I know he's itching for like 1 or 2 real opportunities. Here's the thing. I know people in our area, at least, for the most part, it's gone to show that like when they know a storm is coming, they knee-jerk reaction want to buy. And we definitely have the equipment to sell. So part of me does want to see one of those knee-jerk reaction storms where people are like, oh, I need to buy, just so we can clear out. I don't want to see enough where it's like we're days upon days upon days of storms. I would love to see it. I would love to see enough where it's like people have the knee-jerk reaction of, oh, I need equipment so we can unload, but not enough where it's like we're buried in for like the month of February. No thanks.
And it's like, I know you're not supposed to get, your hopes up, but when you're selling something, you could tell prerequisite how this conversation was going. So a guy messaged me about a snowblower. The conversation was going great. I'm like, Chris, we're going to sell snowblower. The communication was great. The questions were right. His attitude was right. And then we had this warm weather, and he just stopped responding and left me on read.
And if I'm being honest,
and I was like,
I'm sorry.
So that's just like my.
Yeah, if I'm because I'm sorry, I'm thinking through the books now, like while I'm making that comment. So in this area, what people usually need to see, so I kind of have to edit my comment a little bit. In our area, because Scott, I'm seeing your comments. Scott is like where my mother grew up, and my mother grew up about, I would say about 5 hours up north from here. Like they usually were seeing snow by November. Like that's the real New York. He's right. That's like upstate New York. We're in like we're in New York, but like not so much when it comes to the change of seasons. What I will say when it comes to snowblower sales in our area, one storm doesn't always do it here. Sometimes, especially since the C word hit a few years ago, what we tend to see is people need to know that there's a little more coming a second time. People, I noticed since the C word hit a few years ago, they'll kind of try to ride it out that one time. And then if they know more is coming the second time, then they're like, oh, we better then maybe get something. That seemed to be what the trend was in buying equipment when it came to snowblowers. So maybe we need to have like definitely 2 storms to probably unload all the equipment, all the snowblower equipment that we have. But I definitely don't want to be snowed in for like a month. Like I'm not feeling that look like we've had years and years back. No, thank you. Kind of over it. My body also doesn't like the cold anymore. So there's that. Just enough to sell the equipment and keep it moving. So
all right. So you guys posted your tune-up comments, and so a tune-up for me is just like a snowblower.
yeah.
Now I always say no matter what you do on a machine, repair-wise, but especially when you're reselling something, it needs to be clean. So for me, I definitely 110% clean a tractor for 2 reasons. 1, less stuff. Oh, actually 3 reasons. 1, less stuff on me. 2, it gives me a better idea of what I'm looking at to see if there is something wrong. 3, build up on the decks and in the pulleys and in the motor. If that is ignored, you are in for a very, very bad time. If the motor is dirty, the motor is not cooling efficiently and effectively. And also, if it's caked up with crap, you don't know if something could be potentially leaking. And then 3, fire hazard. That muffler gets really, really, really hot. Okay. Then another thing is up underneath the deck, the transmission. Same thing on hydrostatic transmissions. There's that cooling fan, right? That's got to keep everything nice and cool. If that's built up and caked up, that's not going to be cooling the transmission. And I think it's safe to say that you will have transmission issues and seals and all that stuff. Okay. And then the drive pulleys, right? You see me, make videos on drive pulleys, and I can't get over the fact, like, if one pulley is bad, I replace all of them. And I even recommend replacing all of them because I don't know the tractors yet. Like, if that one pulley failed, how much life is left on the other ones? So I talk about like a great return on investment. I would hate to get a phone call saying like, hey, you just worked on my tractor and this happened. So I feel like I don't want to miss something. So I'd rather just play it safe, replace all the pulleys. Down on the deck, obviously clean everything, grease everything. And this is where I find shops fall short, is they're not pulling rims and tires like we do on snowblowers. polishing the shafts and putting them back on. And we have acquired machines from people that have gotten it serviced, have great records, and it is a bear to pull tires off. So why do shops miss or skip that step? Obviously, we are checking tire pressure, changing all the filters. Where I think we differ is I adjust valves on a tune-up. And the reason why I change valves on a tune-up is because from my perceived perception and experience, being YouTube educated, watching other YouTubers, interacting with other YouTubers, is that camshaft on that Briggs & Stratton single overhead Intech engine. Okay, that camshaft likes to strip and cause all sorts of ruckuses. Now, part of that is one, poor design, maybe just bad, manufacturing process. But I feel that two things, right? If your valve lash goes ignored, you're going to run into starting issues, and those starting issues will put extra wear and tear on that cam. So I rather just adjust the valves, RTV valve cover gasket, peace of mind, see you later, love you, bye. And just include it in the price of a tune-up. And I think that's where we differ. And I know with us, we don't have a separate charge for cleaning, but we have taken on new lawnmower repair people, and we have acquired people, and people will give us receipts, and people actually charge to clean where we think it's industry, where I think it's industry standard, right? You're going to work on a lawn tractor. Do you want it to be dirty? Like, how the heck do you have it dirty? And you guys seen where I actually get upset with customers who have dirty tractors after I've educated them. So I think we draw the line at adjusting valves. There are other shops that clean carburetors. I do not touch a carburetor no matter what it is, unless it has an issue. So let's see how you guys feel about play. I really changed one pulley either on the deck or the drive system. They all are cut from the same cloth usually. All right, so here is the deal. And I struggle with this, with pulleys and stuff. If I have to do spindles on a tractor, I do not associate spindles with the rest of the pulleys because really take some hard hits that we may not be well aware of. But for the extra, I've paid anywhere from $10 to $25. I will get spindles with new pulleys on top, but I will not touch the other pulleys on the deck. If one pulley goes bad on the deck, I will replace the other, I guess you guys would call them idlers or adjusters or whatever, but I believe the deck is different than the drive system. And I don't know why. And even I could like eagle eye the pulleys on the spindle, and I'll lay them flat on the ground. Even if they're not bent, I believe, and I could be very wrong, but I believe that for the extra few dollars, while you're in there, just spend the extra $20, $25 is the most I've ever paid for additional pulleys. I just put new pulley on top, and I leave the ones on the inside. And if one on the inside is bad, the other one. Now, for us, I do not see a lot of bad pulleys on Husqvarna, and I'm sorry, on AYP Husqvarna made machines. I see a lot of bad idlers on John Deere's. I don't know why. And I know these John Deere's have significantly less hours than the AYP Craftsman machines. Cleaning the machine is always yes, but there are shops that charge it, and I get it, but
they're paying overhead.
Yeah, they're paying overhead and all this other stuff. But like, how could you properly work on a machine that's caked in and covered in stuff. And we talked about this before that, things are expensive, period now. Back then, things weren't so expensive and they're throwaway, right? And I'll go back to a tractor that I sold recently. And right now, the way things are, for us on the island, a new tractor, no bagger, nothing, no frills, the Craftsman 36-inch, the cheapest one is about $2,500 after tax, maybe a little bit more. That's all you're getting. Nothing else. No baggers, no accessories, no kits, the bare none, right? So if your Craftsman AYP machine or whatever machine you have, you already have it set up with your bagger, you have it set up how you like it, you do a good job with it. That has, to me, a catastrophic repair of two things: your motor or your transmission. I believe the way things are priced now, it's worth fixing. Especially, we know, or that there is tons of parts still for sale, mechanically. Cosmetically, not so much. But nobody cares about cosmetics when you're cutting grass, when it's your own machine. But I believe now that it's worth it. And we sold the tractor to a guy. So I had a GT 5000 that I posted, I think on YouTube and definitely Instagram. It was a perfect machine. I love that machine. I was going to do a full restoration. I ruined that machine. I crashed that twice. So I took a perfect tractor and I made it imperfect. Now, I don't know. It's my fault. I'll take it. I'll take it as my fault for sure, because I'm responsible for the accidents. That tractor does not drive like any other normal tractor that we've ever had, in my opinion. And number two, my feet didn't reach the pedals, even with the seat fully adjusted. So I bent the bumper, so you could see how hard of an impact that was to bend the bumper. And two, I cracked the bagger in the back. So I put that tractor up for sale as is. It runs nothing for $1,300. And my response was to people when they tried to negotiate was, listen, if you would like to buy a new tractor, a new garden tractor, it's $4,000.
Oh, miss you too, Chris.
I am asking less than half with the bagger and with the plow. And that was my response to everybody. Don't tell me anything. Don't tell me anything wrong. Yeah, I know the bumper's bumped. Yeah, I know the bagger's cracked. You could fix it. I'm not going to do anything. This guy spent $1,300 for the same tractor that he had, so he had a parts loader to fix his. Insane. I have never seen that with a snowblower. I have never seen it with a backpack blower, or I've never seen anybody purchase a machine for parts. A lawn tractor is the first time we sold a running, functioning machine, and this guy was going to use it for parts. And I really don't care what you do with the machine. I just thought that was very intriguing whatsoever at all. It doesn't idle, and the choke is broke, and the filter fell again. Yeah, so I picked up a new. I taught myself how to sew. Our leaf bag broke on our leaf vac, and I got another one, and that had a blowout too. And I'm like, well, how many times am I going to buy bags? So I said, you know what? Let me go on YouTube. Let me relive how many people went to home ec or had home ec growing up. And I remember sewing crabs and bears and stuff. I went on Amazon, ordered a sewing kit, and here I am. I'm sewing bags and everything, and it's holding well. So I sewed my leaf blower bag, and as soon as I sewed it, in a couple of uses, it had a blowout in a different area. So I parked it because now I got aggravated. I repaired my leaf bag so far 3 times. And I have to do one more repair. And it's funny. It's just weird. I'm sitting there, a grown man, weaving and sewing away. But meanwhile, that was the norm way back when. And how far we come from society that we look at sewing like.
Now I see him at my crocheting blankets. I mean, I'm not here to judge.
Okay, so we don't talk about mowers.
but we are.
Depending on the problems. Yeah. So
Mhm.
for us,
Oh, that's a great idea. Fishing line works great on bags.
oh, okay. Spindles unless they are correct. Just rebuild with new quality bearings. Okay, so we've had questions about, do we rebuild spindles or we just replace bearings? I just order a whole new kit, 3 bolts in and out. Here we go again, because I've seen in certain instances where we pull off the spindle and the deck is cracked. And if I didn't pull off that spindle, I wouldn't see that deck was cracked. So I'd I'll repair it, slap a new spindle on there, and call it done.
Yeah. Oh, fishing line. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy. Yes,
they are expensive.
They are expensive if you can find it, and even the push blower leaf bags are very very expensive.
Aw.
So
go ahead.
So it's been an hour.
Yeah.
We got to go. We got
Yes.
things to do, homework, classes.
If you have enjoyed your time with us, as
Yes.
we have you, and the ones who are in the chat, you are not new to us, but if you are catching this on a replay, please make sure you subscribe. Press that subscribe button. Make sure you give us a thumb up, like, and we wish for you, as we were talking today during the live, whatever it is that's on your heart, your business, your mind for 2024, we hope it is amazing for you and yours. Remember, stay intentional with your goals and every move that you make. If it's important to you, then it doesn't matter what it is to anybody else. Just keep hustling hard and keep working hard. And remember to keep giving it your all. We're always here for you. You're always part of the Pate Performance family. And just remember, until the next one.
Later. Oh, and if you got it, list it. I don't care what season it is. We just sold 4 lawnmowers and 2 tractors this past month and a half. And I've been absolutely shocked and stunned. And if we didn't have lawnmowers up for sale, if we didn't have tractors up for sale, we would have missed those opportunities. Somebody else could have gotten them, and I would have been stuck storing them, and someone would have not been happy.
No.
All right, guys.
Set boundaries. Later.